Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I noticed Peter over at Hey There Folks, that's his channel. He's kind of the king of Snap-on unboxing. Anyway, he popped back up on YouTube. He's been gone for a little while, and what he did was kind of interesting. He took all his Snap-on unboxing videos and strung them all together into a 3-hour, 15-minute video. But anyway, what I thought about is, for many people, they want to get on a Snap-on truck. Maybe you haven't. Peter's been enjoying the journey on YouTube from not knowing about Snap-on to probably being its biggest fan. But what I thought I'd do is start out with 5 what I think are essential Snap-on tools. And these are ones that I can say, yeah, they might be expensive, maybe, for a Snap-on price, but totally worth it. And it would be a good start if you want to just ask a Snap-on dealer, if you run into one, parked somewhere, or you see a phone number on the side and you call it. These are things you could ask for. And I don't have the actual prices for all of them. And here's the reason. You want to talk to the Snap-on dealer. Sometimes cash gets you a little bit better deal. Sometimes they'll throw in other things, as Peter found out, whether it's sweatshirts or hats or stuff. But also, the Snap-on dealer might want to, kind of nurture a relationship. Because these are not the most expensive Snap-on tools, certainly, but they are ones that kind of begin the addiction, I guess, if you end up developing such a thing. You can watch 3 hours and 15 minutes of somebody doing that if you'd like. But anyway, first of all, this is the classic LN46 ACF. It's the smaller version of the larger version. It's a triple slip joint, wonderful little plier. There is no copy of it. I don't know how to say that any better, copy of it out on the market. But if you ask for one of these, it comes in various colors. That is definitely a plier to have. Wonderful design and a very useful size. Next thing is the scraper in the small size here. This thing has been my absolute favorite. They've gotten rid of this handle, but it does come in these 2 flavors here. I of course got green. You can see the part number on there, CSA or A8C. It's an 8-inch carbon scraper. Real simple design. This one does have a striking surface on the back, whereas the classic handle does not. And then they do make larger ones, obviously. Once you get into the scrapers, you find them so handy for so many different things. But one of those in any color, any handle is great. This is the little mini ratcheting screwdriver. It's part of their set that has the interchangeable shanks. I love this thing. Absolutely love it. They are getting expensive. I mean, more expensive than you might think. But one of the things that you can do with this is put all sorts of different sized shanks on it, and I've done videos on that. And if you get the small screwdriver with a longer shank, it actually really has a lot of applications, because many times screwdriver handle, you're only using the way back of it maybe because of reach or clearance, dexterity, whatever. And this one just gives you that. Plus you can easily flip it back and forth between forward, reverse, or fix it in the center, and it's still pretty solid, and it turns, I think, in the right direction. But anyway, there's this, and of course you can get one that does not have the removable shank, although there are mods to make it a removable shank with just the old school solid one. But if you have a choice, I really like this. And of course it comes in various colors. Now everyone knew this was going to be on there. This is that kind of 45-degree or double bend pick. Love these. I have a bunch of them. You can get them in various handles. You can get them in sizes, although this one here, the smaller size, to me is by far the best. Now there are variations here. You can see I've got longer ones and different handles. This one, not really as useful as I thought. This one, they've kind of toned it down a little bit as far as the pokiness of it. You can use this on things where you're going to need to apply a little bit more force. However, this really is an ideal size. But if you notice, see, this is even smaller, and this is the shorter handle. So they did beef it up a little bit on the longer one. So definitely this guy right here. Part number on this one is the SG3ASH45C. I don't know, Can even read that part number there, but either one outstanding, not very expensive, and I use these almost daily. Next one, obviously little snap-on pry bar. This thing was a journey to finally get. You know, years ago I did videos on it, made my own. It's just a good solid design. Definitely worth it, not very expensive, although the prices are going up, and you can get it in a nice hard handle in different colors. So there's the part number on this guy. It was the P, is that a 8M85? Maybe it's PBM85. Classic. And last is the little pry bar. They make them in all kinds of different sizes. Now, where I think it really comes into play, I mean, lots of companies make these small ones, but they have two usual fatal flaws. One is they use a softer metal, and I can actually, on this Quen one, which of course you can get for very little money, there are two things, and you can feel it if you get a hold of one of these. One is I can actually bend this by hand. I can feel that deflect, and also I can feel where it ends in the handle, because there's a flex. It's kind of hard to see, but I can feel it in the handle. Obviously there's nothing out here, whereas on the snap-on it's a striking surface, so it goes all the way through, but it is just rock solid compared to this. Now obviously if you're going to be hard on them, break them, whatever, both have lifetime warranties, but if you want to do anything with kind of some precision, it's nice when this doesn't bend. When you get to the larger sizes, you actually have a lot more material, so it's easier to have a less expensive or less quality steel and maybe not have quite the effect, although you can if you're really pressing on it. But to get down into the small sizes, that's really where the difference shows up. And you can see, you know, just in the metal, there does look like a difference. And then that plays out in the tip as far as wear, as far as you know, prying when you're way up near the tip. So even though you can get all kinds of inexpensive versions, get a good snap-on in the small size there. There's a readable part number on this. Holy smokes, this high vis. Let me see if I can tone it down a little. There it is. SPBS8A. That's what this guy is. But you can look up the different sizes, different colors. So those are the 5 tools that, you know, I can highly recommend. They're not terribly expensive, and, you know, except for this guy maybe. And then if you get those, feel confident, you know, learn the rest of the snap-on line, or maybe watch Peter's 3-hour 15-minute video as he works his way through a lot of snap-on decision making. But those are 5. You can write them down, you can call your snap-on dealer, and if you're really interested, that's a good starting place. You might have variations in colors, variations in length, but this is it. Those are like my favorite inexpensive, quotes, snap-on tools. Let me know if you've got others, but go watch Peter's video too. I'll link it below. It's fun. And with that, Doc out.